it's the same thing every time I see you. All you ever talk about is you. Now I really don't want to bore you, but it's about time you consider me too. And the same thing applies to what we do. We always want to do what you choose, and it's getting me down doing the same old rounds. You never take account of my news, but I've been running back in circles wondering what to do. Afraid to even speak because I offended you, but now it's got to the point where you have to choose. Cause we can't stay with me if you stay like you. Cause your eyes are too close together, baby, your eyes are too close together.
Community cheers out there, everybody. It's Ryan Kidd, and I am the Human B-Side, the only channel in the vinyl community that plays music exclusively for your neck down. The only channel in the vinyl community that you come to get your modern kicks, and satisfaction is guaranteed, baby. You're riding with the kids, so you know what that means. It's time to testify. It is time to stand up and be counted. It is time to be somebody, baby. Raise a glass. Cheers, everybody. Come on.
Cause you only hear what you want to.
What's happening? Check it out, man.
It's
Time for another vinyl fun. Come on. Creatures of the endangered species, heathens of the rock and roll underground, welcome back to the home of bad ideas and weirdo music. It's good to see you. My favorite thing to do, play some records and talk about music with everybody. And the first record, like I showed you here, is from 1980, the opener. It's not a Vinyl Finds, but it reminds me of pretty much the first two bands I'm going to show you. Listen to this chorus, man. I love that chorus, man. And yeah, 1980, The Elevators, Your Eyes Are Too Close Together. And before we get into the Vinyl Finds, I got that stupid little story about this single, about this song. And I'd like to know about your experience, if this has happened to you. I remember exactly where I was and exactly what I was doing the moment that I heard this song. And I'd love to hear from you guys a song that did that for you. Because I'm sure there's some great stories out there. But I was 17 years old and I just got my license. And I was driving to every show I could possibly go to. I wanted to see every band I could possibly see. And I wound up at this place called Asbury Lanes pretty often because they had bands like, you know, multiple times a week, so I was going. And they had great DJs too. Like, sometimes the DJs were better than the bands, you know? But I remember it was summer and I was at Asbury Lanes and I was playing at the Pac-Man machine. And I just lost my last life on the Pac-Man game, and I was, you know, you're probably pondering the meaning of existence in between bites of the greasiest tater tots of all time, as one does naturally. And the first chord of that song rang out, and then the little riff comes and the vocals go, and I go, oh wow, this is cool. And then it opens up with and then the drums, you know, open up and the verse opens up, and I'm like, wow, this is great. And then this huge chorus opens, and it blew my mind, man. Like, I love the vocal, the melody, the guitar tone, and the little jingly two-note lick behind it. It was so simple. It was so pure, and it just blew me away. I broke my neck. I turned my head so fast looking up at the DJ booth, and I went over to the DJ, and I asked him, I said, what was that song? What was that? And he told me it was The Elevators. He showed me this single, The Elevators, Your Eyes Are Too Close Together. And I said, wow. You know, I first of all, I got to get that single. And then secondly, I have to get anything that sounds like this band because it was, I don't know, it's just one of those moments, man, where it just struck me immediately. That was 15 years ago and I still love that single. It might be a bold thing to say, but I think this is my favorite power pop song, maybe of all time. The Elevators, Your Eyes Are Too Close Together. You know, the funny thing is too, like, just for instance, like the Garbage Man, he comes to the house at the same day every week, and I forget to put my garbage out. But I can tell you exactly what I was doing, where I was standing, what the room smelled like when I heard this song for the first time. And it's just strange, like it's weird what the brain wants to remember. But yeah, from 1980, we opened the show with the Elevators. Your Eyes Are Too Close Together. Check it out, man. The only bummer is you flip it over on the B-side. Honestly, it stinks. But the A-side's so good, don't even, doesn't make a difference. But I've got a great vinyl finds for you lined up, and I'm so glad you're here to hear these tunes. I've got the first 2 singles I'm going to show you. This is singles only, so a little singles mixer out there for you degenerates. The first 2 singles I'm going to show are from 1979, and the last 2 are from both from 1981. And it's a great mix of like stuff like the Elevators, maybe a tad more punky, and one that's a little more aggressive. But we'll get into it, man. Enough talking about it. Let's just play it, baby, and let's turn it up loud, man. So the first one I'm going to show you is from 1979, and I brought out, for like I do every week for each record, I brought out a bunch of records that I think sound like it, and what I'm listening to otherwise besides the new stuff. So cheers, everybody. Thanks for coming back, as always. It's awesome to hang out with you guys. Raise a glass, man. It's time to be somebody. The first band I'm going to show you is called Silent Noise, and the single's called I've Been Hurt So Many Times Before. Excellent pogo, power pop punk. Sounds like White Riot at first.
I've been in love with all pressure down the time, nothing seems to go right. I've been hurt so many times before. I wrote my heart into over again, I can't even know if I can do it twice. I've been hurt so many times before. But when I look at you, I think I might just try. If I let the one chance pass me by. But if you shake your head again, I'll never
Total
try.
like pogo, power pop punk. And tell me this doesn't sound like it could be a lost cut off like an Undertones EP, man. It totally fits in with like a song like Emergency Cases or Smarter Than You or True Confessions. Yeah.
I've been hurt so many times before.
Great 3 chords, just great
Don't
song.
anything going wrong, find it out to the end. I've been hurt so many times before. But when I talk to you, I think I might just try. Can't let the one chance pass me by. But if you shake your head again,
Now I'm gonna show you some singles I brought out.
I've been hurt so many times
If you dig what you're hearing, Silent Noise, I think you're really gonna dig these singles. Roses Are Red, Can't Understand. I love the guitar tone in this, nasty. A little solo here. Yeah, check it out. Roses Are Red, Can't Understand. Last Stand, Just a Number. Great funky power pop. Check this single out. This is amazing. City Limits, Morse Code Messages. Killer single.
But when I talk to you, I think I might just try.
I showed a compilation last week or 2 weeks ago. Jack and the Rippers, this is the single. No Desire. A classic, Fast Cars. The kids just want to dance, and the kids will dance when they hear Silent Noise, baby. Come on. I opened the show a couple weeks ago with the Shakes. What's my lunch, Mom? If you love your Shakes, I think you're really going to dig Silent Noise. This one. I want to talk about this single, but I want to let this drop out. Yeah, that's a killer tune, man. I love it. Great power pop punk from 1979. We'll hear a little bit of the B-side. I don't know, when I hear that song, I just keep thinking of Smarter Than You, Smarter Than You. The Undertones tune. The one record I brought out, I never showed this on my channel before, but it's one that I think encapsulates the perfection, the pocket of when you get that punk meets power pop with just a great rock and roll kind of foundation. And it's a band called The Tools, and the song's called TV Eyes. I mean, not Iggy's TV Eye, but The Tools' TV Eyes. And man, I love the drums in this song, but everything about it. This is another one that's like, to me, like a masterpiece of simplicity. You know, I love this single. I also brought out a bunch of others. Let's see what else I got in here. I got the Maniacs Chelsea 77, maybe a little bit more raucous than Silent Noise, but I think if you dig Silent Noise, what you're hearing, you're gonna dig the Maniacs. You probably know the Maniacs, but let's listen to a little bit of the B-side called Heart to Heart. But we're gonna listen to a little bit, then we gotta keep rolling, baby. Also brought out the Gangsters. Great rock and roll.
Won't you tell me what's the matter with you? Things ain't what they used to be.
Oh man, this is another really underrated band, Epicycle. If you dig Silent Noise, you're gonna love Epicycle, man. High School Junkie rings really true to like this kind of style. Also brought out the Speedies. Nice little Speedies compilation, man. Let me take your photo. Great job. We gotta keep rolling. You get it. You get the picture, man. Yeah, so from 1979, that's Silent Noise. I've been hurt so many times before. Great tune, man. So we're gonna stay in 1979. Let me cue this up. Cue up the next one. This is from a really great reissue label that still, I don't know how new they are, but I think the first record I bought from them was The Sound. What's it called? Physical World. And Reminder Records are great, man. They did like Cassie. What's the other one? I got like a ton of them. Oh, they did the Bastards reissue. Dorothy, I Confess. There's a bunch of them. But yeah, this is a great single. They're doing a really cool job of reissuing this stuff. But the first time I ever heard this song was on this compilation called Bored Teenagers. This is volume 6. And if you can get your hands on any of these comps, they're excellent, man. It's the last 2 songs on this compilation. It's by a band called The Days. And the A-side's I Want to Be a Star. And look at this cover. That's funny. These guys are great. But yeah, I think that's a picture of the Vox Phantoms. There's also another song on here by a band called Machine called Bored with the City. And if you want some kind of lo-fi, punky power pop, check that song out too. Machine, Bored with the City. Great stuff. But we're going to play The Days. The Days, I Want to Be a Star is the single. And let's play it, man. And then I'll show you some stuff that it reminds me of. Dropping stuff all over. Here we go. Check this out, man. Instantly, this band reminds me of The Nerves. I love those chords, man. Instantly reminded me of The Nerves. Some other bands that reminded me of were Protex. Great Irish punk here, man. I actually saw Protex at Asbury Lanes, the venue I was talking about earlier in the video. There's it's a really good riff here, and a power poppy kind of tune, but there's a certain kind of like sadness to the vocals, the song has a little bit of a melancholy kind of feel, and it's just a great mix. I love it. It gives it a little like harder edge. Yeah, I love that guitar, man. I think if you dig the Freshies, check out I'm in Love with the Girl at the Manchester, whatever it's called, record store. The Manchester Megastore checkout desk. It's a mouthful. Other records I brought out with the Runes. Go, 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 you stupid Eskimo. I'm not gonna be a businessman. The band, him or me, the B-side You Dirty Rat. Excellent stuff. The Boondocks, Heads I Win. This is really cool stuff, man. Great rock and roll. Choose a crowd. The Orbits, Make the Rules. Be a Star by the Daves. Is that a great song or what, man? I love it. But the first thing that popped in my head was The Nerves. Really great A-side. And the B-side is also really good, too. It's called At the Seaside. Check it out. Yeah, there it is. Reminder Records, a nice little reissue. And the B-side at the Seaside. That's pretty good, man. I like that song a lot. And I have the Bored Teenagers comp to thank for it. Probably wouldn't have heard it. So, yeah, it's great, man. Like I said, if you can get your hands on those Bored Teenager comps, definitely pick it up. So, on to 1981, the last two singles I'm going to show you. This record is killer. We're going to amp it up a little bit. We're going to get a little more aggressive for the third record. And let me cue it up, and then we'll get into it. It's by a band called Antler Joe and the Accidents. It's a great name. That's a band name of the week, I think, this week. Antler Joe and the Accidents. And this came out on Feral Kid Records. Originally in 1980. This is a reissue as well. It just came out on Feral Kid. And I just found that label because I've got, like I said, I got those Teen Line compilation cassettes, 1 through 8. And when I found those, there looked like a lot of cool stuff on there. So I subscribed to their little email letter or whatever, and this popped up in my email, and I said, wow, I checked it out, I said, this is fantastic. Antler Joe and the Accidents. Aggressive, snotty, just fun punk, dirty, man. The first song we're going to hear is called Words, and it's awesome, man. Check this out, and I'll show you some records I brought out that remind me of Antler. Kill the Bee Gees. The next song was called Dog Shit. it's just great, great 2-minute punk tunes. That's the first side. The B side is excellent too. It's got like it's more of like a rocker with the saxophone in it, and the saxophone's great, man. It fits perfectly. And it's kind of a nice surprise because after the first 2 songs, you might not think you'd hear something like that from Antler Joe, but he's got you covered there, man. The hype sticker says one of the coolest and rarest Florida punk records. Okay, they're from Fort Myers, Florida. Official reissue after 300 copies were originally pressed in 81. And yeah, that's it. So that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, check it out. Antler Joe and the Accidents. What is it? Go Commercial. That's right, yeah. Great single, man. Great little EP. 3 songs of maximum rock and roll for you to bang your head to, man. For you to lose some brain cells to. So the last band I'm going to show you, this is a band that I heard the name like a bunch of times, but I never came across any of their records. And a couple weeks ago, I was at Goner, and I was flipping through, and I found one of their singles. It's either their 5th or 6th single from 81, but it's great, man. And they're from DC, and they started, their first single was in like 76. They started before that, but the first single was released in 76. And I'll show you quickly little of the bands. The first band that it really reminded me of were the Dickies. Gave me like an incredible Shrinking Dickies vibe, Stukas Over Disneyland and Dawn of the Dickies kind of feel to it. And let me cue it up and we'll play it, man, because I'm going to take you out on this song. I'm going to show you a few records that it reminds me of, too, before we go. Yeah, it comes on this yellow wax here. It's the Slicky Boys. The Slicky Boys. And it's called Here to Stay. And I love the little riff in here, the lead. The lead's terrific. It might get used a little too much in the song, but it's that good where I don't mind. You're not going to mind either. You're going to love it. So yeah, it instantly gave me like a Dickies vibe. And then also gave me a little vibe of like DMZ. I think if you like DMZ, I think you're going to really love the Slicky Boys. And then check out this record. I don't know, you guys ever hear this? It's called The Last Ones. It was members of DMZ and the Liars. And number 1 again, the first song on this little EP, it's like 4 songs, yeah, is terrific, man. Really good stuff. And yeah, I'll show you the other ones. Let's play a little bit of it though. Listen to this riff, it's great, man. The Slicky Boys from DC, man. Some really early DC punk. I think you're really gonna dig, man. Here it is. Cover there too. I brought out the Barracudas. Really sweet stuff here. I think if you dig the last, you'll dig the Slicky Boys. I brought out Destroy All Monsters, baby. There you go. And if you like the Dinos, man, you're really gonna dig this single, man. Give you a really big like Dinos kind of vibe. Check it out. Somebody, baby. Enjoy the record. Cheers, everybody. Have a great week. Be somebody, baby. Come on.